Sometimes, if you don't like what's happening, you should reimagine your life. I think you have to follow your passion first.
I was born on the south side of Chicago, but we moved around quite a bit when I was young, so it was always difficult to make new friends and new communities. One thing I always dreamed of, a place where young adults could have access to resources, access to mentorship, and access to care.
For any young adult that's ever wanted an opportunity to shine, this is your time.
I'm Chris Thomas, founder and executive director of Your Passion First. So honored to have you here, and our young adults have been working ever so diligently throughout the winter months to really plan this Follow Your Passion Festival series.
That's how lit I am about this piece, baby. I hope every other dope rapper that say the dopest is there, and then they can know, hey, Primal Legend is here.
I've been inspired. It's been truly an inspiring experience, and to see how everyone has, pitched in, they're growing, and it's just been so inspiring.
Along the way, you realize that although you want to achieve this top status, you start to realize how much value is in the journey itself.
I'm so sure many others have dealt with a lot of adversity, especially in recent years. And I'm dedicated to telling my story.
I'm happy with my video. That's the path that I am trying to go on, within my art space and stuff like that. So I am happy with how it turned out.
So I just feel like you guys keep me motivated, every time I get on this call, I'm just okay, what are my next steps, and what action can I take to get closer to my goals and my dreams?
I've been loving it. It's a lot of adjusting, but it's been teaching me how to pick up skills further on, for the future of my career, because I know there's going to be a lot of adjusting within the music business.
It actually reminded me of why I'm passionate about, what I'm passionate about. And also, the extra fun part was doing the voiceover for my video.
Passion first, put it first. Passion first, put it first.
So I'm very excited for the direction that this podcast is going. This is going to be the first youth-led podcast, and I think we hear that term thrown around loosely. But when I say youth-led, I don't know if you see those young adults right over my shoulder, but they've created the strategy for this. They're creating the titles. They're connecting with what business owners, right, we want to actually connect with. And they're really taking a civic leadership role in the community. And it's so amazing to see it unfold. We're very excited to talk with some of these business owners, both in the Austin and Oak Park community, because one of our main goals of the Undivided Bridge is to bridge the gap between two close yet divided communities. Part of these conversations is really going to include what the youth want to see in their community, and what are some challenges that the youth have been facing, and then how can we bring those challenges to businesses, get a business perspective, and then collectively, close that intergenerational gap by coming together with the youth and the business owners to create solutions for some of these problems that we're seeing.
So on the one hand, it's schools shouldn't be places where harm takes place. Schools should be trauma informed, right? When we say schools, we unpack what that means, right? Is it just the teacher, right? Yes, it's the teacher, right? It's also the counselors. It's the school social workers, right? But what happens when there's one school counselor, one school social worker, right? And you have so many students, right? People are gonna fall through the cracks, particularly students who don't come to the radar. And it's not just a teacher thing, it's not just a school counselor thing, but it's also safety personnel, it's also janitors, it's also food workers, peers, and families.
Sure that as my grandmother made sure everyone ate, and I think that just kind of transcended through me, somehow spiritually or whatever it did. So my goal is to make sure that everyone has what they need. Even people who may say have food in their refrigerator, what's wrong with helping somebody to save 30 or 40 or 50 bucks? So now they can go and buy something that they usually can't buy or afford because someone is giving them.
Get that music that's going to help you deal with that pain that you may be feeling deeply. It's a love language, you know. It's how you speak. Music is a movement.
You can try to suppress it. A lot of times either you haven't realized what your passion is, or you try to shut it down, but in actuality, it's gonna come calling. It's gonna come calling.
And it's gonna get louder.
Yeah, exactly. And eventually you're going to have to face whatever it is.
Or there's definitely wealth, right? But then just literally right outside the university walls, there's like a whole other world. That's literally night and day.
Yes.
And you know, I was born and raised in a church my whole life, and I was a poor broke student, but I had $2. Here's $2.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine and I were like, well, this isn't sustainable. Like, what's really happening? How do we get to the root cause? Well, just not give me your resources. Let me give them out to the people who need them. But also, how can you be a part of the solution?
The proximity to poverty, but the people are the same. They want the same thing everybody wants: love, safety, care, raise a family, so on and so forth. Food insecurity is another interconnected issue that allows the cycle to continue. You know, when we're talking about enslavement of people, when we're talking about that ending, but oppression not ending, it just shifts to Jim Crow, to black codes, to the KKK, to redlining. This is again by design. And what happens is, for a community to uplift itself, you have to be able to invest in this community, right? But what if you don't have a grocery store? What if you don't have healthy food options? What if you have corner stores, but nobody who owns that corner store actually lives or cares about it?
And whether that is mental health, whether that is racism, whether that is environmentalism, whether, you know, all of the issues that are going on are because of us. And I think we need to not only respect that and embrace that, but realize that youth have the answers, and we need to support you and get out of your way. Yes.
So with that being said, I'm Keyshawn.
I'm Felissa.
And this is Undivided Bridge. We'll see you guys next time.